Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who know me, maybe you don't know me, maybe this is the first time that you've stumbled on this channel. My name is Molly. I am a book lover, reviewer, and I'm also a librarian, and I order all kinds of books for our adult collection. And I've taken a little bit of a break from posting, and it's nice to be back. Today, I want to talk to you about one of the most exciting books that is coming out in 2026, in my opinion, and it is getting a ton of buzz. It is called Kin by Tysm Jones. Now, before we get into that book, you all should know that I tend to prioritize new fiction and nonfiction, contemporary fiction, mostly leaning towards like what is trending. That is what I order for my community, and that's what I find myself most drawn to when I'm choosing a new book to read, whether it's for work or for pleasure. I do read a lot for work, but surprisingly, being a librarian, I just do that. But Kin is making the rounds as it's just getting a lot of buzz that potentially it could be one of the biggest books of the year. And I agree with that. I think that this is a gorgeous novel. So this is due to come out on February 24th. It's by Tysm Jones, the author of American Marriage. And this is, I don't even know where to begin. It is about two girls who are growing up in the South, Bernice and Alice. They are motherless daughters being raised by extended family, and they are living in a fictional town called Honeysuckle, Louisiana. They've been best friends forever. They are neighbors, and you really just feel that they're two sides of a coin. And as the book progresses, you see that each girl makes a separate decision, obviously. They go on very different paths, and they come out on the other side completely different lives, completely different standings in society. Man, it is just incredible. I feel like two separate narrative arcs, it's pretty hard to do and to maintain like the tautness of a story. And Jones is just so, it's like you're watching her weave or knit a very intricate pattern of joy and tragedy and womanhood and sisterhood. And we see Vernice is the well-to-do girl of the story, I would say. She goes to Spelman, which is a historic Black college for women, one of the first in the country. So she goes to school and joins a sisterhood of other Black women who are all pretty well connected. And it's just a world of affluence and ambition, and it is definitely not what she thought it would be. And then we see Annie. Annie has a mother who abandoned her, which is so tragic. A mother who is battling mental health and addiction issues. And then she is just fixated on the idea of finding her, which is just like shot to the heart. Like that is just, it's devastating. And I think the thing is like, you can really feel the motivations of each character. It's one thing to like see it on a page and know it and process it, but I always gravitate towards books where you can feel like your heart is about to like leave your chest because you are just so worried for the main character. And that's how I felt about Annie. Annie could not catch a break. Even when she has so much pluck and survival instincts, it's just like life has been stacked against her, you know? So wild situations that she finds herself in, and looking in, one would think these are unsavory characters that she's ended up with. And yet she also experiences love and people who want to take care of her. And it really challenges your idea of what is the right way to live. And I really enjoyed seeing all of the different colors of the Black experience during this time. Like I watched an interview with Tysm Jones and I believe Penguin Random House. And she basically said that she wanted to write this book as sort of like an ode to Black literacy, that, you know, there are many people who are able to read or write who were descendants of slaves. And there were many educated young Black people who were literate, who were writing, who were recording their oral histories. And I just found this to be so beautiful, especially because the two girls communicate through letters, which any sort of like analog hobby, give it to me right now. I think we're all in search of that. And it's just especially heartening to read about two women who love each other and who miss each other, and they are writing their thoughts, their dreams, their anguish. It was just like so well done. And I really think that this will be one of the big books of 2026. I think we are all looking for stories about people who survive and who are also pushing against the boundaries or the limits that have been placed on them. And, you know, I always think about how, of course I'm reading the book, but like, how did the book read me? And this book really changed me. I feel like it made me realize that there's so much pain and tenderness and revival in our female friendships, and that motherless daughters need that more than anybody, and especially people of color existing in this country is pretty difficult, especially in this moment. I am gravitating towards stories where there are those who are showing dignity and strength in the face of adversity. So this story is not set during the time of slavery, yet we can feel the after effects of course, such a horrific thing. She really knows her sentences. She really knows how to pace a story, and she knows how to develop characters. And when an author can do all three and just do it so seamlessly that it feels like you're eating a delicious morsel of food or dessert and you like don't want it to go away, that's what this book felt like, along with like feeling extreme sadness, a lot of joy, and a lot of just like the written word is so good and so beautiful when it's in the hands of a master. So I highly recommend this book. Put it on hold at the library, pre-order it from an independent bookshop if you can. And I really feel like it has some book of the year juice. I think it could be a really good contender. Are there any new releases that you are dying to get your hands on in February or even later on in the year? If so, leave them in the comments down below. I'm really excited to be back filming. I'm definitely rusty and I'm still kind of learning my way. I'm definitely not a book influencer, but if there's any sort of feedback or comments that you have or any reviews that you'd like to see, again, just let me know. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you may be in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.